Hello, everyone. Welcome to Darts Now, and I am joined with a very, very special guest, Natalie Gilbert. Natalie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to meet you, Connor.
Now, you are a winner on the PDC Women's Series. Now, I know that you spoke immediately after that, but it hadn't really sunk in. Now that it's been a couple of weeks, how does that feel that you are a winner on the PDC Women's Series?
Hearing it still makes me smile. Yeah, it brings it all back. It's still a great feeling, and I think because for me it was unexpected, so it's even more special.
When you hit that double five, I think it was. I mean, what was your feeling? Because Lorraine was right behind you as well. She was waiting on a double to make it 4-all, and watching it back, it didn't look like you knew how to react.
It it was the disbelief, I think. In during that leg and getting down to a double before Lorraine was just really trying to coax myself to keep calm, not panic. And obviously, if you hit it, you win, but you try not to think that because the nerves hit. And yeah, so I think when I hit it, there was the relief, the disbelief, just so many emotions all rolled into one. I didn't know what to do.
And
But
after you, oh, sorry, go on.
no, that was it. But just I gave thanks. Just yeah, gave God thanks. Gave so the amount of emotions on hitting the double, I didn't know what to do with myself.
And after you hit that, and after you won that title, I don't know if you was aware at the time, but it also put you in the provisional match play spots for next year's Women's World Matchplay. Was that something you was aware of heading into that match?
No, I didn't. I wasn't aware. Um, the first I'd heard of it was after. When obviously I was told I'd moved up into that provisional spot, but I think at the start of the weekend, the goal I'd set for myself was to at least try and get to the last 16 of each event and onwards, obviously, because I didn't feel like I had been playing well in the lead up to that weekend, like I mentioned before. So I didn't expect to ever be anywhere near that green zone, if I'm totally honest. So it's great.
So now you are in that green zone. Is that where your sights are on now, on getting in that match play, making your debut at the Winter
Yeah, it
Garden?
has to be. It has to be. That's where
Is
that's going now.
is it going to be hard now because you won the final women's series event, but now the next lot is not until I think it's the end of March. So what do you do in the meantime to just try and keep in shape and to carry that momentum on after quite a long layoff?
Well, at the minute, I've still got a few WDF events that I plan to attend over the next few weeks. I play County and Super League. They're not the most regular. Well, Super League for us isn't very regular, but um, some match play is better than nothing, obviously. And then there's my practice at home. It will just have to be a lot harder than it had been, more focused.
Now I know that you spoke about it with the PDC after you won that title, but your route into darts was perhaps quite a bit different to most other people's routes.
Yeah. I found the sport. I would say I found the sport by accident. Um, I've never really followed darts. It's not really in my family much. My mum confessed that she watched darts when she was younger, but it's nothing that's ever been in the family, so to speak. So it was a definite accident.
Yeah, I think you said that it was after a stroke when you was about 25, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Help, help with your recovery and your balance. That's why you picked up darts.
yeah. I was a wheelchair user after my stroke. I had a lot of physical um, obstacles to overcome, standing, walking being some main ones. And I remember trying to throw on a standard board from a chair, and I couldn't get anywhere near where they were supposed to be. So standing was definitely a big aim to be at, because I enjoyed the messing about, so to speak.
Wow.
And the balance needed to play was just another incentive, I suppose, to do the physio, because mentally it's hard if you're striving to do something again, after having the use of your legs for so long, to then not be able to use part of your body as you're supposed to is very difficult. And having the focus and the strength to put the work in to try and regain some form of mobility was really, really tough. And I did have moments where it would have been easy to give up. So finding a sport to aid in pushing that on was a bonus for me.
Did you ever I mean, you mentioned there that you was a wheelchair user. Did you ever think that you would be a champion within darts after, when you was in that situation? It's just crazy story.
But in the beginning, it was literally just a bit of fun with friends. And even joining pub teams, that's what that night out became. It was my Tuesday night. And then as things progressed, then obviously I started playing county and selected for England last year. That I thought, oh, I'd like to go and see what I can do out there. I was doing the odd events then, under what was the BDO. So then when the women's series started, it was a no-brainer really to go and try it. Did I expect to win an event? Not really, if I'm honest.
Well, you have.
Have.
You mentioned there as well that you represented England. What was it like pulling on that England jersey? A lot of people dream of that.
That was an amazing feeling. I remember crying when I was informed that I was going to be selected, and my parents were in Jamaica. I don't know what time it was for them, but I was on the phone straight away, waking them up. So yeah, and then actually putting the jersey on over that weekend is a weekend I'll never forget. And it was nice as well that all my family managed to come up and share the moment with me as well. So yeah, and the aim is to put it on again one year. So you never stop trying.
I mean, we've spoken about the women's series there. Now, you're someone who, I mean, you've been there right from its inception, way back in 2020, even the World Championship qualifiers, when you've very, very nearly made it to Ali Pali as well. How have you seen the women's series grow from those first few events to what it is now?
Women's darts has got a bit of a buzz going on at the minute, I think. We saw it with the numbers increasing. Sorry, bless me. The numbers increasing over the time. And I think it will continue to increase, just listening to the talks around of people who still have yet to attend any women's series events, who say that it's going in their calendars next year. So I think only bigger and better things can come from it.
Yeah, I mean, just on that point as well. I mean, I know people in my life who I've been in an hour about whether they should attend, but it is important, isn't it, that if there are young girls or women out there who are playing darts who have not yet attended these events and are thinking maybe shouldn't I just go and give it a go?
Yeah, also that there's nothing that you've got nothing to lose from just coming and giving it a try. I don't think there are many that have been once and decided that they wouldn't ever come again. So definitely just come and see what it's about.
And when you won that title as well, I'll keep mentioning it, so I'll keep dropping it in. When you won that title, you become the 10th different winner on the women's series. Does that just show how much it's grown? And actually, I mean, in the past when it first started, we spoke about Lisa and Fallon, then Bo came in, but actually there is that depth now, and that the field is getting stronger outside of those top 2 or 3 women.
Yeah, most definitely. I think 10 is a very small pool when you look at the fact that there's probably 15, 20 were more than capable of winning one. The standard at the very top is very big, and I definitely think that the gap in between, like your Bows and your Lisa and your Fallons, is closing, and possibly we fear them less now. Well, I certainly definitely fear them less. So, yeah, that number of 10 hopefully will increase, and so will obviously the numbers of women coming to join the game.
Yeah, but have you noticed, as you noticed your game improved since the introduction of the World Championship qualifier as well as these women's series events? Have you noticed that just getting that competitive match practice on
Yeah.
the streaming board has helped?
I definitely think my game's improved in many areas. Like I say, I lack focus quite a fair bit, and even that side of it is improving. Um, I didn't realise how much mental strength you need to play the game, and that there are areas where I'm still growing, but definitely over the years, the physical game and the mental part of the game for myself has been improved, and I think that many women will say that they're they're stronger players than they are when this first started in 2020.
And a lot of people do follow the PDC Women's Series on Darts Connect as well. Are you someone who goes back and look at your average and your performance to see how you did on Darts Connect? Is it a
Yeah,
different sort of pressure when you've got that you can't hide anymore?
yeah, definitely. I'm very hypercritical of my own game. Probably harder on myself than I should be sometimes. But then also I know that my family watches, and my mum is also hypercritical. I've come home now before, and she said, "Oh, I watched that game against whoever," and she says I had to turn it off because I can score 26 and 45. So, it makes me laugh in some senses, but yeah, you can sit whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, and pick your games apart. If you're good at picking out the positives as well as then yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have that tool. I'll use it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you mentioned as well that sometimes you can always have a lapse in concentration. Does it almost help focus the mind as well when you can look back because you can assess your own game, whereas perhaps after the game when you're just thinking back to it, you might sort of leave bits out because of all the adrenaline.
Yeah, and I think sometimes at times you can remember things wrong. I've played and lost games before now where I've thought, oh, I'm not too sure if I should have lost that game. I look back and I thought, well, actually, I wasn't as good as I thought I was, or I'd made a lot more errors than I'd remembered I had. So, yeah, it's I've lost my trail of thought.
No, well, no worries. I mean, you tell you what, when you're a winner, when you're a champion, you can do whatever you want. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Natalie. Thank you for coming and talking to us. And I'm sure we'll talk again when you win your next Women's Series title. Certainly be watching you trying to get to Blackpool on the Winter Garden stage. I mean, just finally, I know we talked about it before, but I mean, and you just missed out on Alexandra Palace. You're in the provisional spots for the Winter Gardens. I mean, what would it be like? Just have you been to the Winter Gardens as a fan or ever?
No, I've never been.
Have you? I mean, since that you found out that you're in the provisional spots, have you just thought about what it would be like competing on, in my opinion, the most iconic stage in darts?
I've been trying not to, but I'd be lying if I said I hadn't. Yeah, because obviously that would be another tick off something that I didn't expect to be putting on my list, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's definitely a focal point to make sure you put the hard work in, so that come next year March when we're back out there, then that I'm hopefully firing on all cylinders, and who knows, maybe win another title along the way.
I certainly hope so, and I wish you the best of luck, Natalie. Huge thank you again for coming and talk. It was good luck for also the rest of the year, but also when the women's series kicks off again, end of March. Thank you.
Thank you.